Hello, my friends. It's Jory with The Blissful Knowing, numerologist, intuitive counselor, and happiness coach here today on December 1st on time with our December energy report. And I'm so excited to be here. The energies for December are so lovely and so refreshing compared to some of the more intense energies that we may have felt in November. Overall, I enjoyed November, but if you were watching my live stream for November, that was I was coming out of a very intense October. So November lightened things up when we moved into Sagittarius season, but it also gave us an opportunity during Scorpio season to do some of that shadow work, to work on our fears and traumas, releasing them and transforming them and empowering ourselves by letting things go. And we had some energies in November, numerologically speaking, that were about letting go to find peace. So I hope that you found some peace, that you did clear out things that maybe you needed to clear out, and that you're feeling lighter. The Sagittarius season is a more lighthearted, uplifting season, and so is the 3 energy of December that we have. So it's a wonderful time. And we have some other numbers coming in that are affecting things too this month that I like a lot, that are working really well to help us have balance and to help us move forward. Hi, Linda. So I am once again chasing daylight. I am starting earlier than usual because it is getting dark out so early, and I hope it doesn't get too dark. It looks like it's okay right now, but I don't have a lot of natural lighting in here. Really quickly, I'm just going to show you a couple things just because I know I'm waiting for a lot of people to come on that were asking to be notified. So if you are looking for last minute stocking stuffers or gifts, my Blissful Knowing Inner Guidance cards that I use in the live streams are available on my website. And those are a really fun thing that you can just stick in a stocking or just give to someone as a small gift. It's priced nicely. So it's one of those things where I hear wonderful stories from people that, oh my gosh, my so-and-so, my relative loves your cards. They use them every day. I also have the Loves Everywhere deck too on the website, and that's the Hearts in Nature. So that's a really lovely gift too. Great for meditation and focus, great for training yourself to become more intuitive, which is what we're working on now with Saturn in Pisces and this whole 7-year. I have children's books. My Fun Family Tree, I'm out of stock, but that's available online on online booksellers. My Love is Everywhere is a really cute book that is based on my true story of finding hearts in nature everywhere. These are the real ones. And there's hidden hearts amongst the illustrations. So it's really fun, a fun activity amongst a really beautiful story about the fact that we are all love and that we are loved unconditionally by life. So that I do have some copies of, but that's also available online. And you can also order the hide and seek hearts, the magical hide and seek hearts, and surprise your little ones. Don't tell them you're hiding these around the house, but when they find one, put one in a really easy to find spot. Yay, Blair, you made it. When they find one, you can say, oh my gosh, I have this cute little heart bag. Maybe you'll find more. And then they'll start to find more. And it's so exciting after they've read the book, because at the end of the book, it says maybe you will find some special hearts too. And they start to find the hearts. It's so fun. The other gift idea, which I don't know if I can get in time because they are all special order and handmade, are the mala beads that I mentioned last time. I placed a big order for these last month. These have been life-changing for me. There's 108 beads, and they come in many different variations of crystals. And I have been using them every morning to meditate with. You grab a bead, you take a deep breath, you think about what you want to focus on, or you have a mantra or any sort of positive focus word that you can think of. I've used them in many different ways. It's funny because my brain has been conditioned now to grab the beads and instantly feel calmer, because when I normally go to the beads, it's to take a deep breath and to meditate. So there's like that Pavlov's dog conditioning where it's like, oh, okay, it's bead time, it's relax time, it's breathe time. And so I joke that when I'm like having a stressful moment, I clutch my pearls. I grab my beads and I instantly calm down. And what is super beautiful is that because you have so much positive focus on each bead, you're putting so much intention into each bead with your positive focus word or your positive prayer or mantra. Because they're crystals, they hold energy. they hold and magnify and amplify the energy that you put in them. So they become extremely buzzy and positive, just like the decks do. Even though the decks aren't crystals, anything we're putting positive energy into holds that energy, but especially crystals, they have memory and they amplify. So these have become like a supportive security blanket, best friend for me, because I'm like, oh, my happy beads. And I infuse Reiki into all of the Mala beads and all of everything that I send out, whether it's decks or books or anything. I infuse my own Reiki energy into them. And so I've had a lot of people tell me that they can feel how great the beads feel instantly. They feel the positive effects. I had an amazing story where a client told me years later after she bought one of my pyramids. I don't have an example of the Metatron pyramid accessible, but one of the Orgone pyramids, and she was telling me that she could feel the energy immediately when it came to her, and that she held it against her body and felt a healing over. She began to actually experience symptoms improving, a healing experience from the energy that was in the pyramid. So I love stories like that. That's so wonderful. I feel like I look like a super pale ghost, and I know that's super ego. We have the moon in Leo, so forgive me. We also have one energy this month, but my God, it's like I can't put enough blush on. Okay, but anyway, we're moving on. One day, maybe I'll get a makeup artist. Oh my God, wouldn't that be nice? Okay, we are going to move on. So I see that everybody's coming on, yay, and I can stop my rambling and get straight to focusing on December's energies. My guides told me they do want to talk about this year because we are shifting into, we are starting what I call the peak over the wall, which is around December 6th. After December 6th, right around then, I feel the shift in the energy towards next year. And it's such a palpable difference between the year that we had in 2023 and the year that we're going into in 2024. And so my guides said, Sagittarius season is about bigger pictures. So we're going to just talk about that briefly to reflect back on that. And that reminds me, I also created a new, okay, I'm going to fluff, guys, sorry. A new intuitive session. It's 45 minutes. And you can add on another 30 minutes if you want to do it as an hour and 15, but it's reflecting back on 2023 and looking forward to 2024. So it's just kind of preparing you, like understanding what this year meant for you, and then moving forward, what you can look forward to next year. That is on my website right now. I don't know if I called it 2024 Focus, but I called it 2024 something, and it's under intuitive readings. And so that's a 45-minute reading. So price lower than if you wanted to get an hour reading, which I like. At the end of the year, I know we're spending a lot of money on everybody else, but the energies this month are asking us to focus on ourselves because we do have one energy. Others and ourselves, I'll put it that way. Hi, Denise. Hi, Blair. Hi, Linda. So if you are interested in an end of year reading and to know what's coming up for you and look back on this past year, it's a 45-minute reading, and you can add another 30 minutes on, make it an hour and 15-minute reading. But it's just a different price point than normal. So I want to get that out of the way. Also, 2024 personal year forecasts are available. That's a written reading that I emailed to you that has each month broken down on what you can expect, what the energies are supporting each month. And that's always a great reading to look at when you're planning certain things, because there's certain months that are going to be more introverted and more extroverted. So you don't want to make big plans on the quieter months, and you want to make the big plans on the big months. All right, so let's talk briefly, hopefully briefly, because we don't have that much time because the light's going, about 2023. Because again, we're bringing in this new energy around the 6th. So this is really wrapping it up, guys. And December's energies are really quite different than the theme they had all year for December. So I feel like we kind of are finishing that up. It's kind of the end, especially since we had the 9 energy in November, that ending completion energy. So 2023 was a 7-year. I know I've been talking about this all year. 2023 was a 7-year, and this was a year to reflect and to contemplate. It was a year of soul searching, and it was also a year of connecting with nature and detoxification. But where they want me to focus mostly is on the fact that it was soul searching year of contemplation. And when we have a 7 energy, it's like a timeout. It's like this collective timeout. And it's like, go sit in the corner and think about what you did, but not think about what you did. Just think about where you want to go. So there's energy of stillness all this year, sitting outside, especially in nature, communing with nature, going within, getting quiet, going within, and figuring out what you want. And it's interesting now because the Sagittarius energy is giving us that big picture. I'm looking back myself at what this year was about for me as far as the contemplation, and I can't even get over it. Like, I didn't realize it till I'm looking now through this wide lens of Sagittarius energy. I was contemplating a move out of my house, and I was contemplating new work opportunities that may have led me in a totally different direction. I was contemplating personal relationships. And so, wow, I mean, that's a lot of big stuff. And that 7 energy has you looking at all of it and reflecting on all of it so that you can gain clarity. And by the end of the 7, which is where I feel that we are now, some people might say technically we're not done with the 7 year till the end of the year, December 31st. But again, I feel that shift into the new year's energy around December 6th. So hopefully you have some clarity about what it is you want. I hope you're at the point of clarity. If not, you still have a little time, and you can always talk to me and we can go through all the nitty-gritty of everything in your astrology and your numerology to get more clarity on what might be important to you and where you might need to go, or want to go, I should say. But when we are in the 7 year, it's like we are just sitting there filling up the gas tank. It's the year to recharge and rejuvenate. We're not getting a lot of physical action because it's an internal year. It's an introspective year. So everything that's going on is happening inside. And I like to use that analogy of under the surface, under the ground, that seed that's building reserves to sprout. And when the 8 energy comes, we have the clarity now. We have the mind, mental clarity, and no more thinking. 7 can be overthinking too. It's time to take the action. We know where we want to go. We know where we want to go. And it helps us, the 8 energy and even the 7 energy helps us to figure out how we want to get there. And so it's no more thinking, and it's boom, just out of the gate, ready to go. And I really feel like January is going to be super strong for that, because we'll have almost every planet go direct after January 2nd. We have, I think Uranus is the only one that's not going to be direct, but that'll be somewhere around January 20th. So we'll have almost all the planets direct. And the energy of 1 of January and 8, it's so strong. It's just super gusto, but I'm getting ahead of ourselves. We'll go back to December. So hopefully you're feeling that you got some clarity, you know where you want to go, and you filled up your tank so you can take that long trip, that road trip. Sagittarius is the archer pointing its arrow off into the distance, the sign of long distance travel and bigger pictures, big goals, because Jupiter rules Sagittarius, so it's expansive, it's broad, and it's happy. And it's excited, and it's the explorer. And so where do you want to go? Where are you pointing your arrow? The energy of 8 that we're going into is going to help us to take action towards that goal and to manifest it. We've got this huge reserve of energy that we have built up. We have the physical energy built up from resting in the 7 year of stillness, and we have the mental clarity from all of that contemplation. So we've got everything we need, just like that seed does. It has the energy, and it has the wisdom, the intelligence, the mission. The seed knows its divine purpose. It will bring itself into fruition. It has the divine intelligence, and we have that too. We have the clarity now. So I'm saying all this because December 6th is when we're going to start to feel more of that energy coming in, and because Mercury went into Capricorn today. Yes, it did, guys. Mercury went into Capricorn. It was in Sagittarius. Mercury is more about the details and fine tuning, and Sagittarius is so broad. So it may have been like, well, what, it's hard to focus. Do I want to zoom out or zoom in? But Capricorn is going to help us. Capricorn, if you think about climbing a mountain, Capricorn has the goals. It always has a mountain to climb. It's that sea goat, but it's always got a goal. It wants to achieve. It wants to succeed. And so Mercury in Capricorn can give us ideas and strategies. And it's similar to the 8 energy Capricorn is. So it can really help us to pinpoint the practical steps to get to that goal. And the biggest step of all is the theme of this month in December, which is find your happy. Find your happy. The energies are 3 and 1. 3 is happy. 3 is creative. 3 is social. 3 is fun. 3 is lighthearted. 3 is playful. We have the moon in Leo too now, which makes it extra fun right now, just today and for a few days going forward. But One is what is important to you. And this is the clarity that you should have now. And if you don't, I'm here to help you. What is important to you? What makes you happy? What makes you happy? And I wrote it in a really good way. I just want to look at my notes. Not only is it find your happy, but it is creating yourself, creating your personal happiness for yourself, creating a happy life for yourself. How do you do that? By living authentically. One energy is about being true to yourself. It's about knowing thyself. It's about loving thyself. It's about celebrating itself. So getting to know yourself on a deeper level, this is what numerology and astrology can help you to do. That was what worked for me. It gave me permission to be the fullness of me. Using the positive aspects of your numerology and astrology to focus on the fullness of who you want to become. Especially your rising sign, that is like where you're striving to rise up to meet that energy. So that's a good one. If you know your birth time, then you can look at your rising sign. But the most important thing to be able to achieve our goals is to find our happy. Because when we are in that state of happiness, when we are in that state of alignment, of authenticity, that is when our antenna is as high as it can go. And you know we all have an antenna, and I'm here to remind you, we all have an antenna, and I'm here to remind you how to raise that antenna, how to raise your frequency, your vibration, as high as it can go to be able to receive the wisdom, the insights, the inspiration, and the ideas, which is very much one energy, new ideas, and it's very inspired. And so when your antenna's all the way up, you're hearing what your higher self's been trying to tell you all this time. And again, if your antenna's down, it's like you're underwater and your higher self's talking and all you hear is wah, 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 because your ears are clogged. If you're swimming in the pool of negativity, you're not gonna be able to hear your higher self very clearly. It's like you're in that underground parking garage and your cell phone has no reception. So happiness is the ultimate goal. Always. Happiness is the ultimate goal. And so what makes you feel good? That's what these energies are asking you about. What brings you personal joy? My work brings me so much joy. I can't even, I know you guys have heard me say it a million times, but it's just the most fulfilling thing. I mean, there's just nothing that feels better to me than knowing I helped somebody else feel better and I helped somebody else get to know themselves on a deeper level so that they could love themselves, because self-love is the key to happiness and success. So my work makes me so happy. I love connecting with you guys. I love raising the frequency, feeling the buzz of your higher self and giving you those messages, and helping you find more clarity and more enthusiasm for life and more direction, more inspiration even. So what else makes me happy? We won't go into all that because I could list 5 things, one of them being fuzzy robes. And now I have to feel like I'm an expert on fuzzy robes, but we won't go there. We'll move on because it's getting dark. Anyway, fuzzy things in general and just being cozy this time of year. It's just a little chilly, and I live in a very warm climate, but anyway, okay, so the energies in December, again, are 3 and 1. There is some scattered energy, so if I'm going all over the place, that's part of it. It's kind of rambly too. December is a 12 month, so 1 + 2 is 3. We add that to the 7 year, so 3 + 7 is 1. Technically, I'm going to say it's a 19, but we're not going to get into all that because we don't have time. It might even be something else, actually. No, it's not. It's 19. Okay. Scattered. But 3 is also about speaking your truth, and so is Sagittarius. Sagittarius is the truth seeker. It's known for sometimes being very blunt, sometimes feeling that its truth is the only truth, can be a little bit self-righteous or dogmatic. But hopefully all of you understand the ego, which we need to be aware of with this one energy that we have. And we're not speaking our truth in an egoic way. We're speaking our heart's truth from a place of authenticity, which if you did the work and you did the contemplation and the soul searching this year, then you know your heart's truth. You know what makes you happy, and you know what is important to you, and you know who you are and what you want from an authentic place. What you want, meaning what is most going to fulfill you, or what you need that will fulfill you. So I want to remind you guys that all truths are true. We're all living in our own individual reality bubbles, And we all are filtering life through our own beliefs that we have. And so we all have a unique lens. And so somebody else's truth is not the truth with a capital T. It is their truth, and you have your truth. So remember that when you're speaking your truth, and don't expect other people to necessarily agree with you, and that's okay. And you don't have to agree with other people, but we don't want to go ego where we're battling about our truth. That's where we get into all the shadow side of Sagittarius and the shadow side of one being egoic. But the key is to speak your truth first to yourself, and then to share your feelings in a loving way, owning your feelings, using me statements, I statements. I think it's me statements, either one. And not projecting onto somebody else, but just sharing your truth, because it sets you free to live from an authentic place. And that leads me into Venus moving into Scorpio on December 4th. Venus is how we relate to others, amongst many other things. But in this example, I want to bring up, for this situation, I want to bring up, it's how we love and how we relate to others. And Scorpio is the sign of intimacy. And it can be about our fears or our deepest subconscious thoughts, what is hidden, what we don't share with everybody else. And I feel that when we combine this 3-1 of speaking your truth with Venus in Scorpio, creating intimacy, we're going to create intimacy, because that's what Scorpio wants in our relationships, Venus, by sharing our truth from a loving, authentic place. Not from a you need to change because I feel this way, but this is how I feel, and I'm letting you know that because I want you to see inside of me, because I want to unzip my heart, because I trust you, that I'm safe with you, and I want to share this intimate thing with you. And that is one of my absolute most beautiful things that I'm so grateful for, is my Scorpio moon, because when I'm doing sessions with clients, there's such a beautiful bubble of trust and safety that we create together, and we're able to talk about our most intimate fears and desires and hopes and wishes and dreams. And I share very personal things in my private sessions with my clients just as much as they are open with me. It's a beautiful relationship. So my clients are my family. I feel very safe with them. We're on the same frequency, and I feel that I can open up to them, which I just love. So deepening your relationships by speaking your truth, not your ego's truth, but your heart's truth, unzipping your heart and saying, here's how I feel. And I don't need you to change for me to feel better, but I wanted to share this deep and intimate, these deep and intimate thoughts and feelings with you, because I want to create a closer bond with you. So I like Scorpio, Venus and Scorpio. Scorpio kind of gets a bad rap, unfortunately, but that's the way that I see Venus and Scorpio playing out, with the energies of 3 and 1, speaking our truth and finding our happy this month. I like it. So I think I mentioned Mercury and Capricorn helping us to get more grounded, using the energy of being strategic, taking steps towards our goal. But the biggest step we need to take is to find our happy, to know what's important to us, and to live authentically. And then the inspirations of those steps will come to us through our antennas. We do have Mercury going into retrograde in the middle of the month. Nothing to be freaked out about, just giving us an opportunity to review and reflect where we may not, where there's something that maybe we didn't give enough attention to this year that we need to give attention to in order to manifest those goals that we have, those long-term goals. I wrote it in a good way, but I think I mentioned it pretty well. It's already getting dark in here. Let's see. Okay, Mercury retrograde, reflecting on what still needs attention in order for us to achieve our goals. What still needs attention? I have something in my mind. I have something I'm thinking about somebody else I know that they need to give a second look to and go back and finish and work on. And we also have a really cool Mercury cazimi, which is when Mercury and the sun are within 1 degree. They're right on top of each other, so we're going to have a moment of clarity. I think that's December 22nd. But anyway, I don't want to get too crazy in the details because I have too much to cover. Oh, another thing I like about Mercury going into Capricorn is Sagittarius can be super overindulgent. It's like more is better because it's ruled by Jupiter, the sign of expansion and abundance. And so, we all tend to really indulge in this time But Capricorn is that reality check. It is that grounded, practical, more serious, more focused, and more disciplined energy that can help us. It's because it's ruled by Saturn. Capricorn is Saturn. Think about the boundaries around Saturn. It's more restrictive. It can help us be a little more disciplined, so we're not so crazy with the overindulgence. Because if you remember, I said the 7-year was about detoxification. And I know a lot of people have been really feeling that need to physically detoxify from alcohol and sugar, caffeine. Also mental detoxification. I have let go of so many beliefs that weren't serving me this year. So detoxifying your mind. Let's see, what else do I want to cover? Okay, doing well, doing well. I don't even know what I wrote. It's very hard to read in the dark. Okay, Jupiter is going direct on December 30th. That's yummy. Jupiter is the great benefic. It is the planet of abundance and joy. And so we've been working internally with Jupiter while it's been in retrograde, but that's going to be great for luck and abundance. And then we have a full moon in Cancer on December 26th, which is a very nurturing full moon, beautiful for spending time with your family. And let's see, Mercury goes direct on January 2nd. And we have some big stuff in January with Pluto moving into Aquarius, which is really, again, about being authentic. So do you feel that you have tapped into what is truly your authentic self this year? I hope so, because the goal with Pluto and Aquarius is for all of us to live from that place of pure authenticity, of being in charge of our own lives, because Pluto and Capricorn is looking to externals for, being told what to do by top down. And we are so over that shit. That shit's crumbling so hard because we're just at the very tail end of that. So being your inner authority and being free to be you and being the unique puzzle piece that you are, this is how we create the new earth, when we all live from a place of alignment with our authentic selves, using our unique energy, our unique vibrational fingerprint, our unique gifts and talents to fit together as one humanity by being our own unique shape in the puzzle. So again, the One Energy is asking you this month to really say, who am I? What excites me? What is the fullest version of me that I can be? And is there an action step I need to take in order to live a more authentic life? Again, I'm here to help you with all of that. That's what we do. It's so fun. It's so fun to see the expansion of my clients growing and blossoming with more and more petals and just becoming these beautiful, glowing, gorgeous flowers in the garden. Okay, I think that covers everything, you guys. I really hope so. So just remember, if you want to chat for a 45-minute reading or an hour and 15-minute reading, that's a temporary offering on my site along with the 2024 personal year forecast. I will link both of those below. Let's go to the cards. The Blissful Knowing Inner Guidance cards, what we have, want, need, and get. We're going to do that. Don't forget you can download my decks on the app Deckable, instant download. We're going to do our blessing to remember from My Heart's in Nature cards. Love is everywhere. Hold on, guys. Got a haircut. I'm trying to get used to it. And Challenge to Embrace from the Zen Blossoms Flowering Intuition cards. I love this one. Treasures. Blair, I know you're writing so much juicy stuff and I cannot wait to read all of it. I will read it all after. So, 4 cards from the Blissful Knowing deck for our guidance for December. What do we have before it gets pitch dark and we're doing guidance by candlelight, which is not my ideal setup. I don't even have a candle, so we really won't have that. Okay. Have, want, need, and get. Here we go. What do we have? Let me get a drink. Ooh. Trust your intuition. Love this. Love, 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 love. I love it. Trust your intuition. This was the year of spiritual study. The 7 year still is, but we're almost done here. So really, really tapping into your spiritual side. I know so many people in the spiritual groups that I'm in, it's like, whoa, it's just, they've blown up because people are really seeking now the spiritual wisdom that helps us all to ascend and to build the new earth, to remember our power. So trust your intuition. Hopefully you have felt more in tune with your intuition this year. You recognize the inner guidance that's coming through, that still small voice, those gut feelings that you have to get quiet to hear. You know, meditation was a big theme this year. So meditating and being outside and being in the quiet so you can hear that those intuitive whispers. I hope that you feel a stronger connection to your intuition after this year. Trust your intuition. Each of us is born with an internal guidance system that gently leads us in the direction of our desires. Learn to recognize and trust your inner voice. The more you consult and trust your intuition, the smoother your life will flow. Ask yourself if you have been ignoring or disregarding your gut feelings and instincts. It's time to pay closer attention to the subtle messages your higher self is offering you. Now, because this is what we have, I feel like it's saying we trust our intuition, we're there. And I love that. I'm so happy about that because that's just one of my biggest goals in my work, and why I created these decks was to help you to tap into your intuition, to be able to recognize those intuitive whispers, and then to take the guidance that they offer you from the inspirations and the synchronicities that they're offering you. Let's see if I can see this. Okay. So what do we want, guys? There it is. Share your feelings. Speak your truth. Speak your truth from a loving place, from your heart, to create more intimacy in your relationships. Share your feelings. We are emotional beings, and it is important that we express ourselves. Contemplate how you are feeling and the best way to lovingly communicate your thoughts and emotions. Know that your words have the power to heal when they come from a place of love, compassion, and non-judgment. Rather than blaming others, take responsibility for your feelings. Remember that no one has the power to make you feel a certain way. Only you can do that. This is so big. I want to break this whole card down. We are emotional beings. It's important that we express ourselves. Why? Because emotion is energy in motion. And when we're not expressing ourselves, our emotion gets stored in our bodies. It's no longer in motion. It's stagnant emotion. And that's what creates dis-ease in the body, because the energy can't flow through the body. So expressing yourself, your most authentic self, it can be positive self-expression. That's what I'm doing right now. It doesn't have to be, I'm just complaining. I'm sharing like negative feelings. It can be just expressing your authentic self. Contemplate how you're feeling and the best way to lovingly communicate your thoughts and emotions. Remember, we said expressing yourself from your heart, not from your ego. Know that your words have the power to heal when they come from a place of love, compassion, and non-judgment. Non-judgment, Sagittarius, we're not going in this dogmatic self-righteous, this is my truth and the only truth. This is just, we're coming from, this is what I feel, and I know that you have a different perspective and that you may feel differently and see this situation differently from the way I do. I'm just sharing my perspective with you to create intimacy with you, to open up and create a bond with you so we can discuss the differences in how we see the situation. And respect each other's perspectives, because everyone has that unique perspective they're filtering life through based on their unique beliefs. Nobody has the exact same beliefs or life experiences that they're filtering things through. Rather than blaming others, take responsibility for your feelings. Capricorn, Mercury in Capricorn. Mercury is the communication planet. Capricorn is the responsibility sign. Taking responsibility for what you say. Ability to respond. The ability to respond in a loving, non-egoic way. That is responsible communication. Being centered and aligned before you communicate. Having your antenna all the way up before you communicate, so you're receiving the right words to say to have the most positive and beneficial effect. Remember that no one has the power to make you feel a certain way. Only you can do that, because you are filtering the neutral experience through your own belief system. So you're defining it as positive or negative. And if you're triggered by what somebody says or by what somebody does, that's an opportunity for you to look deeper into the trigger. That's the Scorpio, Venus and Scorpio. Scorpio looking deep. Venus, relationships, looking deep. Why am I triggered? I love the 5 T's. Trust the trigger to teach. What is this trigger teaching me? This is the work we do. I did so many emotional closet cleanings in November. It was so cathartic for the clients to just release so much and to look and understand why they're having these limited beliefs, where they shape the beliefs from, and how these beliefs aren't serving them anymore. And to clear that, they felt so much lighter. And it's just one of the most powerful things that I offer is the emotional closet cleaning, because it really transforms you on such a deep level. You're clearing out so much stuff that's not working for you, that's being reflected back into your reality. Subconsciously, you're creating all this stuff. You're like, what? Because of the beliefs. So when we clear that out, it's like, oh my God, windshield wipers on the windshield clearing, and you can see your path clearly, and your life begins to be a better reflection of what you want to believe is true for yourself, what you prefer to experience. So we want to share our feelings from a loving place. 3 says, I'm going to speak truth. 1 says, it's my truth. It may not be your truth. I've seen some pretty dramatic examples of people speaking their truth in the last few days since we shifted around. November 28th is when we started to shift into this energy of speaking our truth with the 3-1 coming through. It started on the 28th. Now Sagittarius season was before that, and that's also truth. But I noticed it after the shifts, people speaking very, very raw truth for their own healing. Not to change their minds, but just to set themselves free. Sagittarius wants freedom. Okay, so truth will set you free. Your own truth. Living your truth of who you are sets you free to be yourself. What do we need? It's not a problem. It's a challenge. It's fun. We need to remember that. I think this goes along with do we feel challenged to be ourselves? Do we feel challenged by having a very raw and honest conversation with somebody? Do we feel that's a problem? Let's make it a challenge. The word problem is a label that can come with a negative connotation. Rather than looking at the situation as problematic, try changing your perception of it to a challenge instead. This simple change in wording and thinking can make the difference in how quickly and easily you are able to handle the circumstances you are feeling challenged by. This goes back to saying that all situations are neutral and we get to define them, we get to add meaning to them. And so if we define something as a problem, there's going to be a lot more resistance than if we define something as a challenge. And especially when we remember that everything comes as a two-sided coin, the problem and the solution are on both sides, they come together. And so we may see the problem first, but the solution is already there and it exists. And it's just a matter of us aligning with the solution, knowing it exists. I have another card in here. A solution is waiting for you. Knowing the solution already exists, and that it's just a matter of raising that antenna and allowing the inspirations to come through from your higher self to help you to align with that solution, to take the action that will bring you to the solution. So it's not a problem, it's a challenge. I'm curious how that's going to play out this month, what that's all about. I haven't seen that card in a while, but I will say when we have 1 energy, sometimes there's that ego, and when we have this 8 energy, which is starting to seep in around December 6th, December 7th, it can be about our power. And so we get the 1 and 8, that's personal power. Sometimes that can be power struggles. And when you're trying to communicate, it could be where you're, kind of butting heads a little bit. So this is where it's important to learn, to remember what we learned in the 7-year. And my guides were saying to me, make sure that you remind them that just because the 7 years over doesn't mean that we don't keep the lessons from the 7. The 7 was to help us establish a spiritual practice, a spiritual connection, to strengthen that spiritual side so we can use that going forward, so that we continue our spiritual practice going forward. Even though we'll be in a year of action and material, a lot of physical things showing up, you can't have the action without the clarity. So you want to continue to get still, to raise your antenna every day, receive the inspiration to take the inspired action. 7 is also observing. So we want to be able to be neutral observers of things without being reactors. So we can learn to respond in a responsible way. The ability to respond, not react. What do we get? Oh! Too good, guys. It's so good. I would like shake that pom-pom for like 5 whole minutes if we had time because it's that good, but it's getting dark. You are on the right track. Oh my God, don't you love it for what you get? Isn't that just pom-pom-alicious? Isn't that perfect? Give me all the love, guys. Give it to me. I see Blair giving it to me. Thank you, Blair. Give me some love, guys. Stephanie's giving me some love. Thank you. You are on the right track. Oh my God. All the things. Shake all the things, guys. You're on the right track. I love this. I love this. I love this because all year long, the 7th saying, what track do I even want to be on? Where do I want to go? How do I get there? I don't know. I got to think about this. I got to contemplate this. I don't know. I'm confused. I'm looking at things from all different directions. I'm reflecting and I'm just going within. And now it's like, oh my God, I know where I want to go. I know what track I want to be on. And I'm on the right track. I'm on the track that aligns with my most authentic self, the fullness of who I am and who I am becoming. Yes. Yes, I love it so much. You are on the right track. Poofalish. Things flow smoothly when you are on the right track. Notice the doors that are opening for you. They are indicators that you are headed in the right direction. There's no need to get ahead of yourself. Just take one step at a time. Keep your intentions clear and keep your goal in mind. Continue to follow your inner guidance and allow the momentum of your inspirations to move you forward. That kind of sums up what I was saying about Mercury and Capricorn in the 8th year being very strategic, having goals, even Sagittarius pointing that arrow, and then coming up with steps to move forward one step at a time, but raising your antenna and allowing your ideas and inspirations to move you forward. So focusing on the things that bring you joy keeps you in that aligned state where your antenna is high and you can continue to be guided step by step by step up that mountain towards that goal. Capricorn is the guide. It's a big part of my astrology. The wise guide. And it's definitely what I aspire to be. And I don't want to go ego and say that I have been, but I've been very blessed with opportunities to share guidance with others, and I have seen the benefits of them receiving and applying that guidance. So I'll go that far. Okay, so blessing to remember from the Zen Blossoms. Ooh, nourish. Oh, this is great because this brings me to a piece that I did not talk about. So 3 energy is also very relaxing. It's laid back. 7 energy of this year is very chill. So when we have the 3 energy of December and the 7 energy of 2023, that's my hammock combination. 3 and 7 is like Jimmy Buffett. Yay, Jimmy. Jimmy Buffett energy, like just chill, just be in the hammock and chill. And the 1 energy of December is take time for yourself. I know it's a very giving. 3 is generous to a fault. So is Sagittarius, just giving, 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 giving. But this year we have 1 energy, which is reminding you to give to yourself because you cannot help anyone if your cup is empty, if you're out of balance. And the greatest gift that you can give anyone is your own personal happiness because you're responsible, Capricorn, for your own happiness. You are the only one. And you will have the most inspirations and the most energy and the most talents and gifts to offer others when you are in alignment with the truth of who you are. When you're in that happy state, you are a born uplifter. You're a natural uplifter. You're uplifting others. You're inspiring others. You're attuning others. And you're offering the most that you can offer when you're in a happy state. So the gift you give yourself this holiday season is the gift of your own personal happiness, of taking care of you, of nourishing your soul, of nourishing your gifts and talents, of nourishing your dreams. And this is why it's such a good time for us to have a session, because 3 is chatting, communicating, and it's about happiness, and 1 is about the self. And so that's what we do in a session. We talk about how you can feel happier, how you can love yourself more, and nourishing the self. So remember to relax. This is, I feel like this, especially this first few days till the 6th, probably around the 6th, 7th, is even the best time for us to just relax, to take that rest. And 7 was asking us to rejuvenate, but really, really rest before we go into this 8, which is more of a taxing energy because it's energy out, energy out, energy out. So use this hammock energy to relax and to just feed your soul, to give back to yourself, to do some self-care for you so that you can be the happiest version of you. So you can be the Santa Claus, the jolly Sagittarius, because you're uplifted by your own cup being full that you are responsible for filling. So blessing to remember that we have an opportunity with these energies, which are slowing down, helping us relax, helping us give back to ourselves, to nourish ourselves. To look at how healthy that green just made me think of health. And these leaves made me think of, can't really see it, but it's a moss rose. It made me think of like when you get in the bathtub and you're just like, do you guys remember that commercial, Calgon, Take Me Away? And she's in the bubble bath and like your fingers get like kind of pruned from being in the water too long. That's what those petals reminded me of. But also it's like that healthy glow. The color reminded me of that healthy glow, especially the green made me think of health and healing. So nourish yourself. Don't forget the importance of you when we're thinking about giving to everybody else. We don't want to get drained, because that's when we start to get a little bit crabby and egoic, because we're trying to bring ourselves into balance and can get a little weak, a little snappy. I know that happens for me if I don't have enough alone time, or if I've been running around if I've got too much people energy going, because I am an introvert, believe it or not, I start to sponge up everybody else's stuff, and I need time to clear. So I need to be outside, I need to be alone, or I need to be in the bathtub to totally clear that energy and give back to myself, be in my own energy. And then I'm like shiny and new again. But when I'm irritable, I always know that means that I've got too many people's energy, or I haven't given enough time to myself. So keep that in mind. Challenge to embrace. Oh my gosh, we got this last month. Forgiveness. Wow. Forgiveness. Again, this is really, really letting go. Forgiveness to me is letting go of what did I hear? A really good definition. It was something like letting go of wanting revenge or something. I don't know what it was, but just erase that because I don't remember what it was, but it was really good. I wish I wrote it down. Anyway, it's not coming to me, but forgiveness is a gift you give to yourself. The season of giving, I told you just now, nourishing yourself. Forgiveness is about letting go so that you can feel lighter, that you can feel better. So again, this may be a time when you want to do an emotional closet cleaning, because we've got the Venus in Scorpio looking into all that stuff that needs to be let go of. We're finishing up this detoxification year. Detoxifying your mind, letting go of anything heavy, and really ending the year by being clear, by letting go of all that stuff and being clear so that you can manifest the life that feels good to you next year in the 8 energy of manifestation and abundance and empowerment. So clearing out anything, any beliefs that are taking your power away. If you're subscribing to a belief that doesn't serve you, it's actually taking your power away, your power to create the life that you want, because that belief is creating the life you don't want. So I think that covers everything, and it's not pitch dark in here yet. So we did really well, guys. I hope you will say hi if you're watching the replay. I don't know. I'm hoping to be back on at the end of the year, but it is Mercury retrograde still. I don't know if I'll be waiting till first week of January or what. We'll see, but I'm going to just wish you all the most wonderful holiday season. I hope to connect with you for that new offering I have, that 45-minute reading, to help us get you all poofed up for 2024, to look back and see what you learned in 2023, what that year had to offer you, and really move forward feeling super aligned, on the right track, living in this authentic place, aligned with this amazing future, that timeline that you prefer, that you want to manifest for yourself, because there's so much manifesting energy next year, and we have planets moving into air signs, Jupiter and Pluto. That's going to speed up things so much. So we've had a slower year, earth and water, just really about stillness, and things are really going to start picking up the pace next year, even as soon as December 6th, December 7th. But it's going to be big, guys. And I want to make sure that you are clear and ready to go, because it's going to be horse out of the gate, balls to the wall, all those expressions. Very exciting year that you want to be prepared for, so that you are manifesting what you prefer and not what you don't prefer, because that 8 energy is very powerful for manifesting, and it will be a reflector of anything you've got going on. So hopefully we'll be manifesting everything we truly prefer. That is the goal. Anyway, guys, please say hi. Wishing you happy holidays. I'll link those offerings below. And I'll link the mala beads. I'm just trying to get that set up with all the different options if you're interested in getting those. And I'll link the decks too if you want to get those too. Thank you, guys. Let's say goodbye. Hope to see you in the comments. I will read everything. Happy New Year if I'm not back yet. Bye, guys.